Okay, so here is the thing. People like ask for my opinion on stuff, but I will like really tell you. And um not only that, but I just don't sugarcoat things like at all. Um and I don't know, like my personality is just kind of like just I don't know, like a stronger personality and I don't know, just say it. But here's the thing. So, this is my story about. I'm going to start telling my story about opinions and things like that. So, if you want an opinion, I'll give it to you. If you don't like the results, I'm sorry. You don't have to hate people because your answers don't match their answers, okay? Because that's the part of acceptance. We have to accept everybody and just accept that people have different views and move along. But, anyways, so I was like basically okay, so this is my story about Christ, and like I didn't want to put religion on my channel, but I'm going not even religion, but whatever. Just I wasn't gonna put anything about like gods or God or anything about that like on my channel, but I do want to share like just a couple stories because stories help people and stories help save people's lives sometimes. And so it's important that we share our messages with others, but um, so this is like my Christ story. So I started my life in Bible school, and I was being raised by my grandparents, like when I was really young, because like my parents were young, and they were in high school and stuff. And um, there's a yeah, don't even get me going on that whole thing. But anyways, love my parents, whatever. Um, so I was getting raised with my grandparents, and I was in Bible school, and I have very good memories in my Bible school. I remember sitting there. I remember playing on the playset. I remember it very vividly, and like I remember liking it a lot. And then like like I just started like growing up, and then I went to instead of staying at the Lutheran school. Oh yeah, so I was baptized Lutheran. So after graduating from, or no, like I don't know why, but I ended up switching to public school. So then like I went to public school, and everything was like going really good. Like I always was like a really had a perfect student like record. Like I was always like winning like awards, and everything was like really good, right? Well, then in fifth grade, it was either like fourth grade or fifth grade in one of those years, like I had really traumatic things happen. One was my grandpa, who was like helping take care of me, like he died, and it just was like messed up how it happened. And like, so like obviously the death is hard as it is, but then like how it happened was just super crazy, and the whole thing was a mess. So like I was like, I don't know, like I was like, now that I'm an adult, I know now what it was. It was like depression and feeling lost, and like I don't know, I guess not processing the emotions of death correctly. I have no idea. And I also had a head injury, pretty bad that year. So I'm serious. When I went back, so then the next year basically, I was like going into middle school, and like I just like wasn't the same. Like I was not the same person going in. After that stuff and after my head injury, I was like different going into middle school. Maybe it was hormones too. I have no idea. I was just different at middle school. And I was kind of like fed up with things. And like I was getting my voice, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, so I I strayed away. I just would go to middle school and I would just go to school. I would still go to Bible study like with people from school or whatever. But honestly, I started making friends in like different crowds and I just like strayed away from Christ, right? And then, we go through life and like, I don't know, more things happen and whatever. And like, I have a hard problem. Like, okay, like, I have a hard time like dealing with like the massive crises of life, okay? That is like, that's a serious thing, okay? Like, when a death happens, okay, I do like take time to recover and I get pretty like emotionally just like and it depends on like who it is or whatever. I'm sure like like everybody, but like I process emotions just kind of like I don't know. Um and so anyways, I strayed away. Well then like basically like something else happened while I was in middle school. And then I just kind of like started getting like, I don't know, like a little like in trouble a little bit. And I just started like acting different. And then by then I was like really in a different crowd. And then like I didn't care if I got like happy attention or negative attention. Like I just like to get attention. Like I like to make people laugh. And like I know you're not supposed to be making people laugh at school, but like I don't know, I just like making people laugh. Still to this day, like one of my favorite things is comedy. But because I feel like that's how like you have to get through life. Like you have to have fun. If you don't, oh my god, I wouldn't be able to. Anyways, so I strayed off track. And then something happened to me. That whole story is really weird, so we won't go down that route right now. Um, and I don't even really get it, but it was just like it was messed up, and it doesn't happen to just anyone. So I would say that it happens to like a portion of people. But anyways, so I did. I like started to have yeah, like I started to just have behavior changes and stuff, and then like um I think like I don't think I could process everything all at once of what was going on. I think I have no idea about like processing all of that. And so like I didn't. Okay? Like basically when it happened and I'll tell you exactly like what I did. Like basically when the situation was happening, I blinked out in my mind and pretended I was like at the beach, right? So you know how they do at the doctor's office where they're like, "Oh, look up at the sky and you're on look at the picture, you're on that little beach right there." Okay, I did that, but like I lived that. While the whole thing was going on, like I literally just like pretended I was at the beach or like pretending I was in La La Land. And so I got really good at just like I don't know, like shutting stuff off and just zoning out to somewhere else. Um, but doing it like controllably. So I just started kind of like, I don't know, zoning things out. And then like, I did start, I start to drink. Like, I drank my first time, like, when I was younger. And like, we were just like, we grew up around it. So it wasn't a big deal. But like, basically, like, we were sneaking little drinks. And we were just like young little like brats running around. And like, I never thought anything of it. But that was the start of my partying. And I would say like I was on the popular side of school, but like I was also like on the party rowdier side of school. So like homecoming games and like all the stuff and whatever. And instead of choosing Christ, I started drinking, and I had friends that were up at the church, and my friends that were up at the church were not drinking. But my friends that I went with, like, we were partiers, and just is what it is. Um, and I, like, I was basically like a perfect little princess. And the moral of this story is I slowly went off track and went off track. And what was happening is like, instead of like when things would happen in life, instead of like going to God and praying, or like instead of talking to Jesus and praying, like I would just do dumb stuff when I was mad. I would just be like, ah, and I would do dumb stuff when I was mad. Or I would just be like, I would just like, my emotions would just take over and I would just go and react. And um, like if I would have just stayed in the church crowd, like what I'm saying is that it just has better things for when you're trying to cope. And so, something that I've learned through Christ is beautiful things and coping mechanisms, because I needed Him to heal that part of me, because I did not have like 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 I was not I did not have compassion for myself, like when I would cope for things, like when I would cope with things. And so many years later, after like I ended up living like this pretty intense life that I can't even believe that I lived, because of like how I began and then like where I got to. Um, Not saying it's a bad thing, it just has been like pretty intense. Like I never thought growing up that this is the story that I would have, but I do, and like I accept it and I love God and whatever. Um, but I'm just like not the person that I thought I was gonna be. Like I was like literally like a little perfect angel, and then life, like, I don't know if it's because I just like didn't know how to handle life. Like nobody really talked to me about things. Like I knew about like school and like making your bed and stuff, but like I did not know how to deal with breakups. I did not know how to deal with like, oh my god, puberty. Oh my god. I did not know how to deal with that. Um like I said, death, stuff like that. Like I literally will like just whatever. And so I ended up just kind of like staying in that crowd, and then you know, the parties just kept going, and just you just keep going and whatever. And then like, so then I became a hairstylist, right? So I like finished school, then I became a hairstylist. And that was when like my partying days stepped up too, because I started traveling the world. I started doing hair all over with all these like intense hairstylists, and we were all like, we'll go out because like we're all having so much fun, and we'll go out. And not saying that you have to drink to have fun, but like we would go out and have like margaritas and stuff. So then like anyways, so then like my hair career, like it just was like a lot of like fun hair events and hair shows and like just cool stuff. Um, but it did take a little toll on me. Um, so Christ, and I got really sick of hair. So this is how Christ helped me. Helped me in a few different ways heal. Number one, with my anger, because like I can tell you stories of things that I've done with my anger that people will just be like, "You did that because you were mad?" But it's like I literally like just it's not that I couldn't control it. It's just like I would get so mad at people that I would want them to know that I'm mad and you're hurting me and I don't like it. And so like I would just be extreme, like getting that across to people. Basically like I was extreme with boundaries. But anyways, like okay, like I'll give you an example. When I was in church and I was growing up, like, you know, little like perfect, if someone was bothering me, I would just be like, hey, can you be quiet, please? And then, like, when I went off the track of Christ, I'd be like, hey, can you shut the fuck up? Do you see the difference? Okay. So here you have me who's gonna be like, shut the fuck up, bro. And then you have God. If I talk like God, then I'll be like, hey, can you be quiet, please? And that's the difference of following or not following, right? And I learned that. And I learned it by the hard way, by not following and then seeing what happens. I didn't realize all that would happen. But now it's like, oh my God, it hit me way years later. Like, oh my God, if I would have followed Christ, I would not have had some of the coping stuff that I did. So that's why I want to share my message. And I'm not saying that you need to like sit down and like be this like Bible, like, you know, this like all in, like, you know, you don't have to go all in, like, you could go slow. But because he was a nice, compassionate person that was basically perfect, like, he was like perfect, Jesus Christ. I'm talking about Jesus Christ. And when I talk Jesus Christ, to me, they are separate people. Okay, Jesus Christ to me is the Son, and God is the Father. So, I know, um, since he is like so perfect and so nice and like tranquil, you can use him to treat yourself. Like you can basically be like, yeah, like if he was there, like how would he want it to be, or like how would he want you to be, or like what he would he want you to have? Like he would want you to have something good because he's a good person. So I just like started following like little things by him, and then I started studying him. So I actually got into the study of Jesus Christ, right? And I started studying Jerusalem. And I started going around to different churches and like trying different things in different places. And I would just all over. And I would like not all over in one place, all over, like all over the United States. And I just started like learning different things. And then like I would just try different, like, just try different religions and stuff. And, like, because who am I to say, you know, what exists and what doesn't exist? I'm just saying that I personally believe in Jesus Christ. I believe he was a real person. I think that when people act like he wasn't a real person, I think that people, like, are discrediting a life. Like, he's like he just never lived and he was a person. So that's that. um but so yeah, so then I got into the actual like studies of Jesus Christ, and I do go to church and I go to a recovery church. I'm not gonna say that I'm at the point of not sinning, because I still have problems, like a little bit sinning. Like I had a lot of issues that I fixed through Christ, and now I'm like on my like end issues and I'm like fixing them through Christ. Um, all of my habits aren't necessarily gone, but he has made me so much better and stronger and happier and healthier and just like more complete. Um, and I could not heal the way that I did without him because I've been going to like groups and like different treatments and different programs for like ever. And like, I don't know about anyone else, but I don't think I could have gone through that without having Christ. Okay, let's be real. All that stuff, all that stuff, it's it's stressful. Being on all that stuff is so stressful. And that was the other thing. I had so much stress in my life, people don't get. And that was the thing, is that I would always take care of everyone else. And like I just was like, it's not that I didn't want to take care of me. Like I like wouldn't have time. And like Christ has taught me to like how to take better care of myself and just like love myself more. He has taught me to be in better relationships. Like I look at it as like, who would Christ want me to be with? Does Christ want me to be with some like, I don't know, like, or does Christ want me to be with someone that treats me good? Yeah, I'll go the Christ route. So you see what I'm saying? So so Jesus became interesting to me again. Now, this is again because I started out like that, but then he became interesting to me again and I healed and all this stuff. And I just never stopped. I just never let go. And now I have like really cool things. And I've been on this path of Jesus that I just can't even explain. And I can give the story of many miracles. So if anybody wants to know stories of miracles, go ahead and ask me. Just comment and I'll go ahead and start whipping them out. But now it's kind of like my goal to bring Jesus to people who like don't like that think that like basically like they're not good enough or they've been too bad or like that's kind of like I basically like to bring Jesus Christ to like rough crowds. So if you guys ever hear me preaching a little rough, it's because I preach to rough crowds, basically where it doesn't even go. So that's the other thing. And yes, I still do sin. There's pretty specific things that I still sin with. I am not perfect yet. Um, I try to follow it as much as I can. I'm not going to say that I couldn't follow on other things. It's just I have a character defect, and one of my character defects is that I like to make a lot of money, and money, the reason why I like to make a lot of money is because I like to do a lot of things that help people. And then a long story, I have like some complications with in the family that I need more money for. And so I I just that's what kind of happened too in life. Like when I strayed off the path of Jesus, like I don't know, I got wrapped up around money, and then it was like however I can make money, like oh okay. Um, so like money was my addiction. I had a huge money addiction and shopping. Um, and then like just like perfectionism, like having to have everything perfect. And so then like when my life changed and then like I went from super good and perfect to like having issues, that made like a conflict for me because it's like how can I be getting in trouble? Like I'm perfect. So like I don't know, it's kind of funny. Um but anyways, that's my Christ story, and I'm continuing to heal with Christ. And I think I've had almost literally everything that you can know to man happen to me. and he has fixed major things. So, anyways, um, I hope that at least he can teach you to have a little more love and respect for yourself. So, amen on that. Oh, and here's my beliefs on Jesus. I don't like when people do the whole argument between he's white, no, he's black, no, he's white, no, he's black. You know, oh, Jesus is black, and then, you know, over here, Jesus is. No, that's not cool. Okay, and on my website, on my page, I don't believe that. On my page, you know what I believe? I believe Jesus is what he was, and he was from Jerusalem, okay? And it irritates me really bad when people want to take their culture and force it onto Jesus. It's like, no, he was from Jerusalem, and that's what he is. He's not white because you want to make him white. He's not black because Africa wants to make him black. He's from Jerusalem. Okay, everybody, bye.